begin with cut one. Cut one has some aspects within the haircut of the technique that's called skimming and filtering. So we use a blade. With cut one, you can see here that there's an internal filtered shape. And within that shape, there's lots of different layers and levels and texture. It's really about creating texture, and it's about creating a feeling of just that wearability. She can shift it and she can move it. And again, we start with the base of a cellophane, and then we go through and we do Texture Maker, which is our one of our newest products, to actually create texture in the hair, and a little dry clean only, just to give it that little rough feeling.
Okay, so for me, I'm going to bring over my model as well, because the haircut that you're seeing right now is this haircut. So she's going to have a lot of texture going on inside of here, but the texture that you're going to see is going to be really seamless. So she's going to be able to transform her hair really easy, just about, because I'm going to be using that skimming technique on her. And she was also finished, and you know that we're a Wella family, we're under that umbrella, so I used alumina and as well as cellophane. So I took panels of cellophane and alumina, and then with gentle, and then I put her under the dryer a little bit to get these really cool tones. And being that they're both translucent, I really feel that they work well together. So I already started to pre-cut her hair onto this side. So I began already taking my vertical sections, and all under here you can see all of this cool texture, but yet, if I brush, it is totally seamless. And that's what skimming is about. So I'm going to take my first section up, here, hold it out, and I'm going to start right at the mid, and I'm going to come all the way down, and I'm going to remove the corner all the way through the end. So now she's going to have really this cool texture going on underneath, as well as it being seamless. Take my next section here, hold it out, and come all the way down. I'm going to be careful now because the hairline changes. So I'm going to hold it slightly back, come all the way down, and remove the corner. See how I'm getting this really cool texture going on, but yet it's still seamless. But I have all of this texture. And now I'm going to move forward a little bit, come down and do the same thing, and I'm going to blend it right in, making an angle into the front.
Okay, as I'm starting to continue to do a skim here, I want you to know something. With cut one, the idea is the technique. You can skim and you can filter. Skimming, we use a blade. It's actually a feather blade, and we're coming out with our own blade in September. So with that, you can do it on damp or dry hair. The hair must be well prepared. It is about the base. It's cellophanes, it's espresso brown, and it's blow dried with some Trilliant and Texture Maker to create that really beautiful, clean shine to that hair. So once you've got that beautiful shine, you can go in there with your blade and continue to skim and remove weight. Now, the idea here with cut one is that I'm creating a slightly different approach to this haircut. This one is asymmetrical, where the other one is more symmetrical. So that's the beauty about Sebastian, is you can take several techniques or one of our techniques and you create your own, because it is about making it your own.
So as you see under here, I have a slightly rounded fringe coming all the way down to the temple on each side. So I really want this to be really bold, this fringe, so that when I bring this, which I'm going to skim over, I'm going to make a veil. But I want, under this veil, I really want to see the prominent fringe that's underneath there. So I'm going to start at the back. And this is where the haircut really gets cool, because you can see on the model there, when you saw all that texture, this is where it's from. So I come here, I have all of my undercut here, but now I'm going to blend into my undercut. I'm going to kind of hold it down, maybe like on a 45, and then I'm going to bring it down to a 0. So when you see the blade, as I'm going flat on dry blonde hair. So you would say, do you use a razor on blonde hair? isn't it going to ruin the hair? Isn't it? It's not going to. As long as I am holding my blade properly, it is not going to damage the hair at all. I'm going to hold it flat onto the hair, and I'm going to skim all the way down until I blend it in. Look at that. And yet, she can get all of this movement through there. So I'm going to continue to do that all the way around. I'm going to find where I ended up. My undercut will drop. I come in, and I'm going to blend it right down from that 45 all the way down to the 0. All the way through, all the way through, and I'm going to blend it in. So as you see, I'm starting to get this veil coming through. See how that veil, you see really that strong fringe under there? And I really want to make that a lot more prominent. So when I come through, I'm going to drop that, and I'm going to use my back just as a visual guide. We never really like to say, oh, you know, take this piece, is this even? Your head or nobody's head is the same size. So we have all different types of crest and movements and roundness and different shapes. So this is what makes this so real. You're really customizing, and we look at hair as if it was fabric. Just like a designer looks at the architecture of the body that she likes or he likes to work on, it's the same thing when I'm looking in doing a haircut. I'm feeling that architecture of the head. I'm feeling what's going on. Is the crest falling? Do I need to come under maybe and do some skimming from underneath to give a little bit more support?
So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating that filtered shape, changing my comb to a tail comb, and using my texturizing shears. And it's a technique that we call filtering because it's doing exactly that. So just by lifting it up, and this is done in every section. So just remember, I'm doing it here on the top, but it's done throughout every section. So whatever your starting section is, you want to make sure that after you skim, you go in there and you filter. Now what I'm creating here is I'm creating a visionary line. I don't know if you can see this line that somewhat runs through. It's still a little bit thick, so I'm going to continue to go in there. With the tip of my shears, I'm going to go in there and to remove that and filter out that shape so I can get that shift. Now let me show you this other side. Because this side here, if you can see, you've got that filtered shape through here. So that's what's really nice. And this has all been done with the blade and then with these texturizers. So you can actually create any shape, any line, any design that you want. You want a longer back, you want longer sides and a short fringe, you can do that. That's the beauty about our techniques. Now remember, you have to create a nice base. So that base starts with that cellophane, or it starts with that alumina color, whatever it is that you want to create. Then by using our texture maker, blow dry that hair, give it some shine, and then do a dry cut. It is about dry cutting. It's not just because we're on stage, but it really is about when you're in the salon, you can definitely go in there and do dry cuts. And that is fantastic when your clients can actually see instantaneous results.
See, and that's what these, that's what these products are. They're really, at Sebastian, our products really are an extension of your creativity. We look to really let you handcraft, get back to really being an artist, not just coming in and, just looking at 1, 2, 3. No, allowing you, giving you that freedom to really touch this really different part of you inside, that creativity side that's really sometimes scary to a lot of us. And when we look at things, we're constantly thinking, okay, I want to go out of the box, but do I? But when you see stuff like this is very commercial. I'm cutting hair. I cut hair in a salon in Manhattan, and I'm cutting all of my clients like this, whether they're conservative or not. So, because if my client is conservative and wants to wear her hair just really seamless and beautiful and straight down, she can. But yet, if she chooses and wants to get some texture going through it, I just move it around, and she's got a lot of this really cool hidden texture inside of there. And then the shine that she has, do you notice, as much as I'm spraying, it doesn't look heavy, it doesn't look oily, it's just a really light mist.
Okay, so as I'm finishing up, I just use dry clean only, just to create some of the finish shape, and just taking out a couple of more, creating my penning technique. I'm using my blade just like I would draw or write my name, just like a pencil or a pen. That's why we call it penning. So going in there and just carving out a couple of spaces here in the front, because I still want her to have some length, but I want her to have a ton of texture. So that's the idea, is to take these techniques, guys, make these techniques your own, create and design your own haircuts. It's not about learning haircut 1 or 2, it's about making it your own. So that's the idea with Sebastian. We really want you to take this, see what you can take, come up with your different shapes, create the balance, and have fun with it. What do you think? Yeah? Make some noise. Good.
Okay, so this is haircut 2, which if you look at Diva, she has that really strong fringe under there, and then she has that veil coming down. So the 2 haircuts really are very played off of one another in a different way.
Great, excellent. Okay. The chairs.
Oh, I think, no, we leave them.
Yeah.